Hi everyone, this is Madalyn with Trans Family Voices, and today we're joined by Mel over here on the stool. Mel, say hi. She's being a little antisocial. She might be meowing throughout this whole video, so I apologize for that. But this week, we are talking about activism. I've experienced a few computer problems, so my video is late. My lovely cats chewed up my power cord. So I've been using other people's power cords to charge my computer. I love them, but anyway. So this week we're talking about activism. I can't believe it's week 10 already. It seems like it's gone by so fast, but it's been really amazing, and the people that I've met so far have been so wonderful. Anyway, so when I think about talking about activism, I think about it from a lot of different perspectives. I think the very first thing that I remember and always try and keep in mind is that I'm not a trans individual, so I'm not, taking on those issues because I don't have to personally deal with them. So I think it's really important to think of myself as a supporter and, someone who can talk about the issues but not necessarily experience them myself, so I don't have that perspective. I don't have that to deal with. But on the flip side, I am in a very serious relationship with a trans individual. And so I do see things that happen. Obviously I'm seeing them secondhand, and they're not happening to me, but they're happening to someone that is the most important person in the world to me. So, it's a little bit of it's sometimes hard to figure out where that line is, But I think that's the very first thing to remember is that, these problems or being an activist is really important, but also knowing that, there's going to be a perspective that you don't necessarily understand right away. At least that's how I feel. But I think it's really important to always speak up. And I know that speaking up about anything, especially in an unfriendly environment or an environment that isn't educated about the specific topic that you're speaking up about, can be really scary. But I find that people are receptive, at least to listening, if not learning. So I think speaking up when you see something going on that's disrespectful, or somebody just doesn't necessarily know any better, they don't necessarily know that they're being offensive, or that they're saying something incorrectly, or it's hurtful or something like that, speaking up I think is really important, but also remembering at least I try not to be combative about it, at least at first, because I think that I know personally if someone is combative with me, I shut off and I don't want to hear what they're saying. But if someone comes at me in a more calm or just an educational way, I'm more likely to listen and be calm and really think about what we're talking about. I think another thing is, for me personally, and again, this video is just how I feel. I know a lot of people have different views, and I think that that's a great thing about this group and about these videos, is that a lot of times we will have differing opinions or views on things. But I think that if someone asks me a question, I don't want to make them feel badly for asking a question. I think that, people can be offensive without knowing that they're being offensive, and can ask really personal questions. And for me, I have no problem saying, well, that's really personal, and that's probably not something that you should be asking me, but I'm not gonna go off on you. I'm just gonna tell you that that's inappropriate. Asking me about my relationship, or specifically about Dylan. But I think that I often feel, on the flip side, nervous to ask questions, because I think that you never know how people are going to be, or if they're going to be really sensitive about something. If it's something I didn't realize was inappropriate and then I ask the question, I feel really badly after. But I think it's really important that people ask questions as opposed to just assuming. So I try to be active in answering questions, or at least saying, responding in a way that doesn't, make them afraid to ever ask a question again. So essentially being patient about it, I think, is really important. And then I think the flip side of all of this, of being an activist, answering questions and speaking up, is also being a listener and learning. And really in the past year, since I've officially lived here in St. Louis, I've realized how much I need to listen and how much I need to learn. And I think listening and learning and really exploring more things makes me a better activist, because then I can educate and be more aware and knowledgeable about things. And I think sometimes because I'm, with Dylan and we talk about everything, I can get lulled into a sense of security, like, oh, I don't need to learn anything, or I can answer all these questions. And then I realize, not really. Just because I'm in a relationship with a trans individual doesn't mean that I know, or that it's the end all be all to knowing everything about that, and I think that I'm learning more and more how much I don't know and how much I'd really like to know and learn about. That's been a really humbling thing, but it's been a really good thing. So yeah, I feel like I talked a lot, and I didn't think I was going to talk a lot about this topic. But I hope everyone had a great weekend. And happy June. Yay, summer, I think. It's probably summer, right? Feels like summer anyway. And everybody be safe, and we will see you this week. All right, bye.